But of course he won 4 editions of the Burnie 10, and he won the first one ever, and we had to invite him back. Please welcome Steve Moneghetti, AM.
Thanks, Richard. Terrific to be back, and great to see photos when I had hair. It's nice to reminisce when it's a positive reminisce. It is wonderful to be back, and you know, I was mentioning to our table, as soon as I arrived, you know, you get picked up from the airport and come into town, and once I got out of the car, I just felt like I was in a friendly place. It's always just great to come back because you are so welcoming, and you need to know that because, you know, often the world's moving on and progressing, but to feel so welcome here is a special thing, and you're doing something right, so keep it up. I'm sure the athletes will appreciate that and do appreciate that because, you know, it doesn't happen as much nowadays. You know, you've got to find your own way from airports and stuff, so just that fact that you picked up, you know, Richard Shouter's lunch, and then, you know, be able to have such a close hotel to the start-finish area and be so well looked after tomorrow at the event is pretty special. So thanks for having us back. I must acknowledge Mike Boss Walker, who we've spoken about tonight, the Harbour Master, who got me over here the first time. A bit of context for what was happening. I was only a young kid of 22 years of age in 1985, so you were born, some of you were born then, and I got selected to go to the World Student Games, or the World Universiade Games in Kobe in Japan. So I'm thinking I'm ruling the world, going pretty well. And over I went, and I was selected for the 10K, and I didn't have a great race, and in fact I finished 15th. I looked up my diary from that particular event, and it's 15th in 30 minutes and 13 seconds, about a minute behind the winners, and I wrote in there, abysmal performance, shattered. That was my quotes in my diary, and so I sort of thought I was going to be this great distance runner, and suddenly I'd had this bad run, and it kind of was all over, and I'm thinking, oh well, just go back to studying. I did an engineering degree, so I thought, oh, I'll be an engineer. And anyway, I got home, and I thought Mike rang me, but he reminded me tonight there was an ad in the Australian Runner magazine for anyone who wants to come over and run this race down in Burnie. And I'd come off such a bad run. I thought, oh, this might be a bit of a chance just to get a bit of confidence back. So I rang Mike, and I think he said I was the first person to ring. So and that appropriately, you know, then I came down, and I wasn't really expecting to run that well because I'd come off such a bad performance, and I ran pretty well and won, and I think I won by 29 seconds from Adam Hoyle. That's what my diary says, and ran about 28.53. So for me, back then, running under 29 minutes was really good going. And I did note, and I've spoken to everybody, I'm sure the athletes know, it can be a bit windy down here. So in my diary, it did say I did run under 14 minutes on the way out, so I'm gathering that was a tailwind because obviously I ran about 15 on the way back, so that differential's often affected by the wind. But tomorrow's going to be perfect conditions, isn't it, Nick? We'll see, right. I think that's a yes. Come on, mate, no pressure. And so that's how it sort of panned out, and for me it was just such a great confidence booster to be able to come back thinking, you know, my career was over, and then to come over and have such a great success. So it just reinforced I actually was in pretty good shape. So I'd sort of, sometimes you doubt yourself, and I was training really well, and obviously disappointed with that Universiade run, and to be able to come back and actually run to where I was in my career, and you know, that set things off for me, you know, because I then went to Commonwealth Games in '86 and World Championships and Olympics. So it was a very significant confidence and self-esteem for me, and boosting self-esteem to be able to come down here and have such a successful run. And then so Sunday afternoon, checked out of the hotel, and off we go out to Wynyard Airport, and got out to the airport, and they said, oh, there's a bit of a problem. I said, oh, okay, what's wrong? They said, oh, flight's been cancelled. I said, oh, that's okay, when's the next one? Not till tomorrow. Oh, right, okay. That's not so good. I've got to get back and go to work tomorrow anyway. So I think I ended up sleeping on the floor of a mate's hotel or at Mike's house or somewhere. So I found a place to stay, and then we flew home the next morning. So welcome to Tassie. God, blimey. I ran so well you didn't want me to leave. You didn't let me go home. Anyway, so then I didn't realise I'd have that success and come back and win a couple of three other ones. And one of them was when I was retired in 2001, so I don't know, obviously it was still going pretty well. And ran some fast times. I think I ran 28:39 was the fastest time. And I think that first run, or that one, was a Tassie record, so I was going pretty well, and that was a nice way to start. And I held that record for a few years, and then Jack and these boys tomorrow will towel that up, I'm sure, and ladies, and we've got some fantastic athletes. I'm really looking forward to the race tomorrow, and no pressure to the ladies, but if it's good conditions, maybe Kylie Risk's record might be in doubt, which has stood since 1999. And one of the years we came down here in, I think it was 93 when I won, we got great camaraderie amongst distance runners. As you know, we all get on really well, and we thought we'd have a bit of fun one day, and this was a day before the race, and one of our mates, Pat Carroll, thought we're going to just stir this guy up. So he pretended that he was a journalist from the Advocate. So he's rung, and we didn't have mobile phones or anything, so he's rang a guy called John Andrews. He's rang him in his room. He said, "Oh, hello, it's Bob Smith from the Advocate. I hear you're a legend and you're going to win the Burnie 10 tomorrow." And Johnny's going, "Oh, no. I think Steve Moneghetti's here. I think he'll probably win." And anyway, Pat sort of kept stirring him. "No, apparently you're in great shape. You are going to beat him, and you're going to..." And by the end of this conversation, Johnny's thinking he's actually going to win. So he's going, "Yes, I am going to win. I'm going really well. I'm going to win." And so Pat finally says, "Oh, look, that's good. I've got a few quotes from you. I'm just organising a photographer to be down at the waterfront. If you could be across there at 1 o'clock, we'll come down and we'll take a photo." Sure enough, Johnny says, "Yeah, great, okay." So Pat hangs up, and we know what's going on. So we go, "Oh, we're going for lunch." "Come on, Johnny, we're going for lunch." And he goes, "Oh, it's okay, I'll catch up. Don't worry about me, I'm fine, I'll catch up." So anyway, 1 o'clock, so we all organised ourselves. This is when we stayed down at the beachfront Voyager, just over the road here. And so we all got up on the first floor in one of the guys' rooms, and we're sitting out on the balcony. And sure enough, Johnny's over on the grass, running up and down, doing all these strides, looking at his watch, waiting for the photographer to come. We thought, oh, we better just let him know what's going on. So, "Hey, Johnny, what are you doing, mate? Who are you waiting for?" He looks up and goes, "Oh, you bastards." And we had a bit of fun with that. And then obviously, and that's what happens. It was great that we could do that because the hotel's so close, and we all got on really well and stayed there. I remember one year it was pouring rain, absolutely torrential downpour. What year was that? It was one, and because we were staying at the Voyager, we all warmed up under cover because it had the balconies there, so we didn't have to all these other people outside were getting really wet, and all the volunteers and Richard and his team, we didn't care. We were in undercover under the hotel, and as soon as just ducked out, and off we went and ran the race. So lots of great stories from what's happened here, and it was such a significant turning point in my life. I will always have a soft spot for Burnie and the Burnie 10. So it's great to come back. Who could believe it? Apparently it's 40 years ago. Is that right? God, bloody hell, can't be that long. Doesn't seem like that long in my life, and you played a very significant part in giving me that start and opportunity, and it will always hold a special place in my heart for that reason. And a lot of the guys and girls that are here today, they're here, they're starting their career exactly like I was. I was a 22-year-old kid with not a lot of future, didn't really know what was going to happen. That's the stories we're going to see tomorrow on the road. You are giving them that opportunity. You're supporting them, making us all feel pretty special by being here. Some of these athletes will go on to represent Australia at international events because of what they've done here. And you should be really proud of that, and we're really honoured to think that you would be so invested in our athletes that you would give them that opportunity because they feel pretty special down here. So well done to all the sponsors, supporters and everyone that's allowed us to indulge, to get out on the road to do what we do, and then to be able to spread the message around Australia that the Burnie 10 is the best 10K road race in Australia. Good on you.
Thank you, Steve.